Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host Matt Marrero along with your other host.
Last time on... No.
Yeah, right?
I'm the narrator.
The narrator's
I would
voice.
play the trumpets in the background if I could.
The narrator, what's amazing about the narrator, just like many of the voice actors on the show, he plays other characters, but I could kind of hear that it's still the narrator, so I'm like, ha. Anyway, the point is...
generally you are him too.
Yes, but some others too, I believe. Again, just like small bit parts.
Yeah.
Anyway, who are you?
Yeah. I'm Tristan Walker.
Yes, you are. And we're doing something that we haven't done for a long time. I'm going to make a joke, because you can make the joke, oh, it's been, it happened last year, but it actually didn't happen last month. It's been a while since we've done a Star Wars Wednesday. But here we are, doing a Star Wars Wednesday, talking about Clone Wars. What?
Elation.
Yes. Now, this is Secrets Revealed, which
is the actual name of the season. I'm surprised you still followed that.
Well, I only followed it because I found some trailers, like promos for next episodes, and every single one was like, Secrets Revealed, and I'm sitting here like, why is that even relevant? Because I'm sorry, I don't think I learned anything that I shouldn't. Like, war is bad. Especially this one. Thanks.
Kind of like how Season 2 was called Rise of the Bounty Hunters. It was vaguely about bounty hunters because, Cad Bane was introduced and all the shit that he starts.
Am I wrong here? Or because if you guys can see the title of the video and stuff like that, we're talking about episodes 1 to 11 of Season 3. But at least, like you said, a bounty hunter was introduced, and there was some more bounty hunting. Although there's a lot more in this season than I think there may have been in last season, although it's been so long that I'm sure there was more in Season 2. It's just been a while. But hear me out, though, Tristan. In 11 episodes, what secrets have been revealed other than Jar Jar being competent? What secrets have been revealed?
Which was never really a secret to begin with. It was always there. People just don't admit it.
No, it was never there.
Nope. Their pride.
No. This is revisionist history because you've watched Clone Wars and you've read a couple cool books. This is not... Jar Jar was not competent in the first movie. He became competent, which is, again, we see it here. Yes. But tell me how many people didn't just check out after the first movie.
Hi.
Good, we got one. Congratulations. Come on, recruit.
I will punch you through this phone.
So you're telling me every single person who watched episode 1 was like, man, I want to see more of these.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what? It's just you and me here, Matt. It's just you and me here on this podcast, so you know what?
I'm just saying that when you say the phrase, well, Jar Jar was always competent. He was not competent in the first one. He became competent, and then eventually he became a Sith Lord, but we're not on that part yet.
Oh, my God.
And I got to be real with you, even in the beginning of this series, he was incompetent. Like, he's grown, and that's awesome, but you're trying to act like he was always competent.
Okay, we just came back to this. Can we not start off on going at each other?
I'm sorry, but you're trying to change you're being a little Kylo here. I'm sorry. And I don't mean like a little Kylo like an insult. I mean you're being a little bit of Kylo Ren here. Little revisionist history here.
Can't wait until we get to episode 7 and see what happens.
Yeah, right. I'm unsure. We'll find out. What I'm trying to get at here, though, is that Jar Jar has gotten better, and I love it because obviously I want that character to grow. I don't want him to always be fucking just annoying for the sake of being annoying, just to try to say, hey, let's see if the kids will like it. And then some of the kids liked it, some of the kids did not. You know, a bit different than the Ewoks, which no matter what anyone says are fucking adorable. At least, like, we're talking about the movies here, are adorable and can also murder people, which in this universe matters.
Yep. So to actually answer your question, the overall season, like, I guess looking back at the season, it's interesting for me that the season title is Secrets Revealed, because a lot of these episodes, at least in the beginning of this season, because we're doing like the first 11 episodes of this season.
Yeah.
How a few of them kind of patch in the holes around season 1 episodes. Because there's the whole bit on Toydaria, which sets up the actual pilot episode for Clone Wars, where Yoda goes to Toydaria to talk to the king.
Okay.
The whole idea that Bail and Jar Jar are there to provide relief aid for Ryloth as it's getting sieged. You see the background for that.
So I have a question then, and I just got to be real here. Do you think that's a bad way to go about it? Because, like, I actually loved this so much, and I think maybe I love this more because of what it's doing and the holes that it's patching in, where, like, I don't know if season 1 should have started like that. I'm not dissing the entire season, but, like, I actually really liked what I've seen thus far of season 3. I really liked it. And I just feel like, I don't know, do you think it's a good strategy? Because, like, you know, you talk about filling holes, like, even though it's funny, it hasn't been 2 years since I've seen season 1 with you, to do this podcast, but it's still been a long time. How is anyone actually supposed to keep track of that?
I mean, yeah, it's a little bit jarring.
You've seen it a few times.
Storylines together.
Yeah, because so like obviously, and by the way, I love, like, here's the thing too, right? I love being able to put something into a story to have it either be rewatched or, in the case of video games, replayed. I love that shit. Funnily enough, talking about something that is both of those combined, the Bandersnatch. Remember that Black Mirror movie game thing on Netflix?
Right.
Apparently, if you get a bad end, so something happens that, ends the story for you, you can actually choose to go back to, like, a restore point, to, like, a save point, if you will, right? So even though it takes you back to that point, you would think that everything would be normal from there unless you make different decisions, but apparently little things in the environment actually change. So even if you made all of the same decisions like you did last time to get to the same bad point, and then the same ending happens, there would still be little differences in the background that would change, which is like, what? Like, that's trippy as shit. So that makes me think, that's cool. But in this case, it feels like just kind of making things confusing, or not even confusing, but patching in holes that you kind of sit back and you're like, but what if you got canceled?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what if this didn't work? Or, like, granted, there are holes in the original, quote-unquote holes, if you will, because they wrote it that way. It's not like, I don't know. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Matt, fans are still, it's a good thing that it's coming back this year, because you said the word that triggers most of the fans of this series.
Mm-hmm. What? Oh, yeah, of course, cancel. Yeah, no, believe me, I'm happy that it's coming back. I just hope that later seasons kind of go forward and not just do this weird dance around of, and you see why this...
Oh, he doesn't know. It's fun. Because it's funny, guys, because I do. Is
the new season going to be a prequel?
No, I meant
what?
The other seasons that are already out. You're like, does it go forward? I'm like, yes, it does.
Well, obviously a different type of, okay, good. Okay, you're talking about seasons 4, 5, and 6. Okay, dope.
Yeah.
There are 6 out before the new one that's coming out on Disney Plus, right?
Yes.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good. I'm happy that it does, because I just am not a big fan of filling in these quote-unquote holes, because there we go, manufactured was the word I was looking for. It feels manufactured, like, now instead of me wanting to go back and watch it and be like, oh, and then that connects to here, I feel like I have to do a Game of Thrones situation, which in my head I already have to do that because of all the different races that are introduced or expanded upon from movies that I love, but I feel like now it's just being manufactured. Like I really have to sit down and be like, okay, this season 1, episode 1 actually ties into season 3, episode, oh shit, was it 6? I've seen all of these in a row, so that's why I forgot which one tied into the Yoda thing directly.
Yeah, it was.
But if I was right, that'd be amazing.
It was Supply Lines. Yeah, episode 3 of this season.
God
Supply
damn
Lines.
Anyway, so. But you see where I'm coming from though, right? Like, I love being able to watch something again, but that's because I want to be able to connect things that I didn't before, like a movie like maybe Fight Club or American Psycho. I want to be able to connect things that I haven't seen, that that now that I know with this further context, like, oh, let's see what happens here. But I don't want to feel like it needs to be rewatched because they jumped around so much.
I mean, they didn't jump around as much as it probably feels like, but they
it might only be days, to be fair,
because putting the series together, it was kind of a I've seen interviews with the animation crews and with Dave Filoni and talking about putting together Clone Wars, and the first 2 seasons they were kind of getting their bearings and getting their feet in the water.
Oh, and you can definitely tell that this is the one where everything is set up so they can go balls to the wall crazy, and I'm sitting here like, wow, I can't believe they're actually doing this on Cartoon Network. I mean, dude, no, the amount of things that they were doing, like, yes, there's still, like, certain standards and practices. So, like, oh, you can't, quote-unquote, be shot, but this could happen, which is so funny because there was something in Batman Beyond. I don't know if you heard about it. I'm not going to say who this happened to because it's technically spoilers, but Batman Beyond, some major character died, and that character couldn't be shot, because Cartoon Network was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So I'm sure they said it nicer, but they looked at the creators and were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So this person couldn't be shot, but they were electrocuted. But somehow that seems so much worse to me.
Yeah, so it's kind of Shadow Realm syndrome.
Yes.
They can't die on screen, but eternal pain and damnation? Sure.
Exactly. It's just like, that villain could be redeemed and go to heaven. Nope, Shadow Realm. Oh my God. Nope, eternal damnation. So yeah, that's just my take on it. Like it's just one of those things where electrocution to me somehow seems worse than like getting shot. And especially it seemed as if you're a human, you only get shocked once or get threatened with being shocked. But if you're a droid, who fucking cares? Because you're a robot, quote unquote.
Right. On
freaking C-3PO.
Yeah, evil plans, right.
It was just like, dude.
Another throwback to the end of season 1, I think. Where Cad Bane gets the plans for the Senate building to then kidnap senators. To kidnap the senators to be able to release Zero the Hutt from prison on Coruscant, which is even a further throwback to the Clone Wars movie.
And then you see why I say it sounds... But anyway, but to be fair, we've seen all of them. But still, you see why I say this. But back to the whole execution thing.
So yeah, I'm kind of on the opposite side. I kind of like that they're going back to connect their storylines because they actually have the opportunity to go back and do it.
But I'm okay, but I want things to connect forward, not backwards. Like, I don't want to have to sit here with you and be like, all right, can we burn our own DVDs so we have an actual like order. Like it would be like saying I really liked that episode 6 came out first because then 4 connected to 6.
Okay. I mean, I feel like you could say the same thing about Doctor Who, and you watch that.
What do you mean? They do callbacks, but they don't actually, like, they go forward in timelines, quote unquote. Like the Doctor doesn't say I'm 1,000 today and I'm 800 tomorrow.
Yeah.
We go back because there's a lot of Doctor Who. That's different. They don't say the 10th Doctor came first and the first Doctor came last or something.
Yeah.
We go back to watch Doctor Who because it's too fucking much to watch from the first Doctor. I told you I tried up to like 4 and I was like, I'm done. I was like, sorry,
Yeah.
and I love 4, but I was like, nope, this is too much. Because they started being complete. Because 1 and 2 are mostly lost, so it was just like, oh, these are a breeze. And then all of a sudden, I got to 3, and I was like, oh God, they're all here. No, it was granted, I love 3 and I love 4, but it was just like, oh God, like I'm watching fucking 5 parts, 25 minutes each. It's just like, wait, why am I doing this again? And then I just jump back to New Who. But yeah, so I'm not saying, look, I'm just saying that like it becomes confusing. It's not like a callback, like a funny joke. Like you and I make a joke. Like imagine if I just made a joke to you and you were like, wait, that's not a callback. And I'm like, it will be one day. What in the fuck are you talking about? Like you make callbacks to something that happens. Like, yeah, you see what I'm getting at. Too many.
I'm not
going to say
make me laugh harder.
What?
That would probably make me laugh harder.
To be fair, that's true because it's just absurd. 99 makes me sad.
You're damn right he does.
Fucking true hero, man. Fuck everyone else.
But, yeah, the first episode of this season, Clone Cadets, which, takes place before the events of Rookies, which is the 5th episode of the first season, when they're on the Rishi Moon base and Heavy is killed in action.
You know what? Actually, all right, let me clarify something. If they said directly somehow, like in the beginning, like, this is a prequel too, because like we know episodes 1, 2, and 3 are prequels, right? But like we know that. So like we go into it knowing these are prequels. But like if somebody didn't, like I once had to explain to my mom that 1, 2, and 3 were sequels. And she was like, but they were released later. And I'm like, I know, mother. But like they're in the name. But the thing with each of these episodes is it's not technically in the name that they're prequels. I just have to watch this and be like, wait a minute. All this shit didn't happen yet. And then have to like look at, let's say if you were looking at a TV guide, let's pretend that like we actually have the guides that we have today on our TVs back then, which we did not. We had to fucking go to a TV guide channel, you kids. Anyway, so but like I'll push info and it's like, no, this is the current season. What the fuck? So that's my issue. Like if there's something disclaiming like, yo, this is where it's coming in, motherfucker. Other than having to go on like
they do make mention to it within the episode and in the preview of the episode.
They talk about but then like,
and they show clips from that episode.
They do. It's just again like they don't say like. I know it sounds dumb to be like, yo, we'll put it in writing. But, like, I potentially, if I was seeing this live, which I really should have because it's such a fucking good show, I would have seen that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's my thing. So, like, it's just hard to keep track, you know? That's all I'm saying. But,
I mean, for me, who sinks a lot of their time into this kind of thing, I don't see it as much of a problem. But for someone just more on the side of just jumping in to see it, now or see it here and there, I can see why it would be terribly confusing.
However, this is a great show for Netflix. Like marathoning this whole thing, I think it would be a little bit easier perhaps. If you were marathoning every bit of it, it might be easier. Yeah. But because of its original format, in my head I'm like, ooh. Like, granted, believe me, I'm not saying I don't want these stories to be told. I just wish they were told in a more linear order. That's all. That's what I'm getting at.
And
I don't want this
on,
story to be
Yeah, from here on they are.
Which is amazing.
Like season 3 does a lot of this because like I said, the animation crew was finally kind of set. They were set to go, and Clone Wars was doing well enough that they're like, yeah, you're good for like another 2 seasons, like keep it going. So they're like, okay, now we can actually go back and tell the full story of some of these because we didn't get the chance to the first go around.
Right. And these are some great stories that they told because, again, we have Jar Jar, growing as a character. We see the rookies and we see 99 and his growth, even though it was only 2 episodes that happened, and it was still a beautiful thing to see.
And that's
also
the interesting thing about Clone Cadets, like that group of rookies, Domino Squad, you follow them throughout the rest of this series.
And that's what's great about it because, like, I'm sure we've obviously seen them before, but again, just as someone who's just coming back into this, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I know I've seen them before, but I actually can't place where it is. And it's like, Matt, what are you talking about? Like, they come back in episode 2 and they're like, yeah, he died, and I'm like, of course he did because I saw that, and then I'm, the memory is brought back because I'm like, oh, of course, but I haven't seen Clone Wars since we reviewed it, which was like more than a year ago. Like we reviewed it before Solo, before episode 8. We had reviewed it after episode 7, I'm pretty sure, but it was in Rogue One. But still, looking at how long ago episode 8 came out, and then even between Rogue One and that, still like it's been a while. So so that's the reason why I come at this a little bit differently than you do, because of course, like, if I'd seen this, 3, maybe 4 times at this point, it'd be burned into my memory, which is fuck yeah. I mean, that's me in Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
But one thing I want to say, though, is Ahsoka, I forget that she's a child, and then people have to treat her like a child to make me remember that she's a child, because she is so competent at everything she does. It's like,
I mean, not at first.
Well, no, but now that we're in season 3, like, she is just on point all the time.
Right, and that's also another thing that throughout this series that people really have gotten attached to her character, and for good reason. But, like, that's also to show you, like, yes, a character at first is not, the complete set-in-stone badass that they're meant to be by the end. The first time you see her, she's a youngling, and the first time you see her is in the movie, and a lot of people didn't like her character, thought she was annoying, too many quips, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I don't think I hated her in the movie, but I understood why people did, if I remember correctly. I think that was my take.
Yeah. But, like, you see, like, her character grows exponentially throughout this series to the point where she is a main mover of the plot, and you become so attached to her that she's immediately associated. Like, as soon as you hear Clone Wars, she's one of the first names that pops up into your mind.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just, and maybe I'm definitely generalizing here, but I just have to put it out there. I just think that some Star Wars fans are not used to growth in certain characters in Star Wars. Hear me out, Tristan.
Yeah.
When you look at, like, this is not even talking about 1, 2, and 3. I'm talking about 4, 5, and 6. While Luke obviously grew from 4 to 6, no shit, he never seemed, he was never a youngling that was incompetent with making quips,
People always, it's funny. Then there are people who point out it's like Luke was just a whiny kid who wanted to leave his, uncle's farm.
Well, no, he grew. But when I'm talking about, like, when I say, like, I'm referring to growth differently. Like, of course, we see him in episode 4 versus 6. It's like, oh, damn. But he wasn't Ahsoka in that movie, is what I mean. Like, there's a certain kind of growth that she's had that... What? Well, yeah.
Luke being whiny farm boy are not my words. Those are other people's words.
Tristan, you can save yourself from the internet now. Just Tristan Walter goes on the internet to find a strange development. Just a bunch of people being like, how fucking dare you?
Tristan Walter goes on the internet, comes back, is Kylo Ren. Wait, what?
Jesus Christ. No, but it's funny that it's funny that you're Kylo Ren because Luke fans are gonna murder you. Jesus. Anyway, no, but getting back to what was that?
I said, speaking of character growth.
Yeah, right. No, but seriously, getting back to what I was saying, like, I think that people who watch 4, 5, and 6, like, yes, people change. Don't get me wrong, but okay, Han. Let's look at Han even. Like, Han was like, "Oh, I will work with you. That is my change." But it's not like he was the Han that we see in Episode 7, who is like a dad and shit like that. Like that's
right.
Like most change is not actually seen on screen as well, of course, because they're movies. That's
right.
another issue too, of course.
And it's also the difference between characters in a movie and characters in a long-running episodic series.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say, is that I feel like some Star Wars fans are just, they're just not used to that growth or that gradual growth.
I would argue it's just those that watch the movies. If you go deeper than that, it's a more common theme.
Well, no, of course. Again, but that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about movies versus. I'm talking about. Yeah, that was implied. I wasn't talking about people who are reading all of the books and shit, because of course that's much different. Although to be fair, depending on the author, that growth is both canon and non-canon.
Fair.
Unless it was like a brand new character in which. Oh well, now the new comics are canon. The old ones were at the time, technically.
Yeah.
Some of them were. I know, because obviously ones about Maul were definitely canon.
Right.
But no. But again, it was implied with unless like that. I was referring to movie characters in movies.
Right.
Because again, like their motivations change, but it's not like they change or they grow in the same way that Ahsoka has been able to. And even when you look at 1, 2, and 3, they have issues, and we've talked about those issues. So I'm not going to go into those right now, but yay, Anakin isn't a tiny whiny child anymore. He's just, going to fucking rule over the galaxy with an iron fist. Woo! This is why I love Clone Wars, because we get to see him actually fight in the Clone Wars and slowly become a dick, but not be that much of a dick.
Exactly.
Which is why I love seeing
his compassion as a person and his honestly amazing achievements during wartime. Like, he's an ace pilot. He's on the Jedi Council. He's an amazing duelist. And there are plenty of points where, you really do see he cares for the people around him. Of course, he's slowly driven to insanity over wartime.
Well, no, of course. Not just the wartime, but also, it's funny. After seeing everything he's done over Clone Wars, I kind of get why in Episode 3 he's just like, all right, it really feels like you guys are not appreciating how much of a fucking bamf I am. Like, after 3 seasons looking at this, I'm like, damn, he's actually I get, originally, we do not grant you the rank of master, but now it's just like, bruh, come on. Like, he's doing it a lot.
I mean, granted, there's still points where it's like, even Yoda has said there are plenty of Jedi here that, have grown arrogant with their powers. And, Anakin still kind of has that too.
Oh, definitely.
Shoots his mouth off and jumps into the jaws of danger without a second thought.
One thing I find interesting, how little we've seen of Anakin. Like, I feel like they used Anakin to sell the series, and then when they had time to kind of go away from him, they did. Yeah. Like, we have not really seen much of him in season. Yeah.
Are Skywalker Central.
No, but not like the movies.
It's their story, basically.
Oh, no, of course.
For, a series like this, that's the beautiful thing about it, you can expand the scope of what you're looking at to a much broader range. And a lot of more characters.
Right, but when I talk about selling the series, I feel like seasons 1 and 2, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it was mostly Skywalker oriented, with some episodes about Obi-Wan not getting it. Hopefully getting it, but not getting it. Well, come on. Like he was not present in that one episode. It's like, oh, Padme's there, and I'm just like, come on. You know, you wanted Obi-Wan to say hi.
Wait a minute.
I just want. No, Padme was there with Senator. I forgot her name. And wasn't she the same senator that Obi-Wan and her were in love?
Oh yeah. Well, she's not the Duchess Satine of
Duchess.
Mandalore.
Thank you, thank you, Satine. Thank you. Wasn't there an episode with Padme and Satine, or no?
Yeah.
Because yes,
was.
Thank you. No, because let me be. Thank you. Let me be clear.
Episode.
Some character models look way too fucking close to one another, and I'm not even talking about the clones. And you gotta level with me here. There are some characters that I'm like, why do you have the same headdress as another character or similar face makeup? Please don't do this. Please stop. Why are you this slender? Please stop. You're both assassins. That's fucking great. What was that?
I said, I suppose that's royalty for you.
Yeah, right? But in some cases, it's like, why are you both assassins? You're both assassins, but you're not the same person, but you really look close. God damn it. Just put it out there. Some character models, I'm like, you really look like you're the same person, but you're clearly not. But anyway, so that one with Satine, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, you know, you wanted Obi-Wan to come by. Don't lie.
Oh, right, when she was asking maybe a Jedi would be needed. Somebody, you know, that's friends with Padme. It's like, well, Obi-Wan technically fits that description.
Right.
Although, like, even her advisor says, because of recent events with Obi-Wan Kenobi, you are not allowed to carry your lightsaber. And even Ahsoka's like, Master Obi-Wan caused trouble, and Anakin's just like, will you shut the fuck up and just give her the lightsaber? Don't ask questions right now, please, Ahsoka. It's like, shouldn't I know? It's like, yeah, but I really don't want to get into this right now.
Ahsoka to Padme, you and Master Skywalker really get along well. Padme is just like, oh, God. Yeah. We have long talks on the Senate floor. Nope, that sounds even worse.
Okay.
Not Obi-Wan. General Grievous, because they're both fighting on my screen right now. General Grievous has proven to not be an effective villain. Like, he's actually he's made me think of him as less than a villain and more as, like, a funny character, like a comedic relief. Because, let me explain, Tristan.
Oh.
When he...
Okay.
What happened? I can't hear you. What happened?
Sorry. Yeah, you broke up. Sorry.
Okay. We're breaking up? Anyway, no, but go on.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's the oldest shitty sitcom joke in the book.
Anyway. Put a fucking blaster bolt through your head.
I will turn this starship around. Oh, my God. No, but seriously, though, but I was saying that Grievous has proven to, like, I don't know, he just made me feel like less scared of him and less frightened than I originally did. And here's why. When he crawls away like a spider.
Yeah. Does that
but like for some reason I've only noticed it here as looking so both comical, and I just imagine him as he's crawling away, like I just hear like he's just like I don't take it seriously until he has lightsabers and he murders, or like obviously if he bends creepily, I'm like, oh fuck, like that's
I was gonna say
creepy.
That's supposed to add to his creepy factor, but all right, I'm glad you find it enjoyable.
The bending is creepy, but the crawling for some reason to me has not been creepy. Maybe it was in season 1 and 2 for me. I'm sure in the movies, if I remember correctly, I was like, what in the fuck are you? But I don't know. So
you basically feel the same way about him that Asajj Ventress does. Oh, dear General, there's nothing you have that I want.
Honestly?
I love that line so fucking much.
Me too. She might have...
In ARC Troopers, like when they're invading Kamino, which is an amazing fucking battle, by the way. That is one of the coolest battles, like, in the whole series. Just the droids building the assault vehicles under the water and then attacking, the cloning facilities. That was fucking cool.
Yes.
But yeah, that dialogue, and that is also one of the best dialogues between two characters that I've seen as well, just between Grievous and Ventress, because they're both basically under Dooku's tutelage when they're not really supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because Palpatine's kind of like, the rule of two. So it's like, Dooku, what you doing there? What you doing there, pal? You wouldn't be having to, trying to overthrow me, would you? No, of course not.
No, but the thing is,
but just the two of them basically going at each other saying, hey, I'm more powerful than you. No. I control the army. Yeah, I can use the Force. I have 4 lightsabers. I only need 2. All right, children, settle down. Dooku just walks in.
Well, no, for me, it came off as so funny because, like, when she says the exact line, like, oh, there's nothing that you have that I want, right, or that I could need. Which one was it, want or need? I forgot which one that I want. It just, I feel like it would have been less offensive if she was like, you have a tiny robot dick. Like, it would have been less offensive.
Oh, my God.
Because that's basically what she's saying.
You have a limp... Sith.
Wait, what?
Well, it's the idea between Sith. It's like, I have more power than you do. Like, one of them thinks they're the most powerful because they lead an entire army. The other thinks they're more powerful because, obviously, they have a connection to the Force, and I'm a more powerful duelist than you.
Yes, but it came off to me as like, is there any way I could help you? And it's like, you literally have nothing. Like, you might as well just said his dick is limp and also robotic. Beep, boop, boop.
I mean, I guess I could understand where that's coming from, seeing as how she impaled the clone trooper and then kissed him on the cheek as he died.
Yeah.
Which, for that clone trooper, is probably, like, the ultimate offense. Like, fuck you. Just as he dies, just thinking, fuck you.
Reverse the order. Reverse the order. But no, but it was just, and the thing too, by the way, speaking of the standards and practices, they could show him with the wound caterized because it's on his armor, but they cut away from the impalement.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Don't worry, they don't do that as much later on.
Well, which seasons though? I'm interested. I'm wondering if it's a Netflix season or if you're talking about Cartoon Network season.
Nope. Still a Cartoon Network season. Season 4? Holy. This is what I mean. Strap yourself in, buddy, because we're going on a fucking ride. Season 3 is where it starts.
Did they change? Did they change the time slot, or was it still 9/30?
No, it would have still been around there. Yeah.
All right. I'm only asking because, I was thinking back to when this aired and, what we were doing at the time, because this aired in 2010, this season, and I was like, God, we weren't talking. Because I wasn't in high school anymore. I transferred, so I was sitting there and I was like, you and I talked every 6 months. It was the dark times, everyone. It was the dark times.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that? We barely talked. That was hilarious. Now, could you imagine if we talked to those versions of us and we're like, listen, let me explain.
Oh, God.
Yeah, right? Oh, my God. It was a quieter time for Tristan. I was not speaking. It was a quieter time.
Jesus Christ.
You're laughing too fucking hard. No,
Quieter it was. Focused on my meditation, I was. Not on the podcast, I was.
And then I came for training in what Star Wars media to watch. I just came into your fucking bog.
My whole slimy mudhole, my homeless is. You fuck.
Oh man. But no, so
this is an accurate representation of our friendship.
Pretty much. But I have to say, though, I really enjoyed what I've seen thus far of this season. One of the best I think I've seen, and it might just be because I'm jumping back in, but one of the best I've seen. I was very interested, still talking about standards and practices, though, because I want to get this all out of the way rather than, like, breaking it up into, like, multiple parts while we're talking about this.
Yeah.
The scantily clad women, I was also like, I know this makes sense because you're hanging out with the Hutts and that's just what they do, like, from the movies.
Oh, right, when they go to Jabba's palace.
Yeah, no, but, and like, other places, too. I don't know if it was just Jabba's palace because there were other Hutt family members there, or was it only Jabba's palace? Oh, okay.
No, there were other. You visit other establishments
Hutts
of that nature throughout the galaxy.
Other Hutts.
I mean,
Hutts.
shit, Coruscant's got plenty.
Yeah, right. But it was still one of those things where I sat there and I was like, this was on Cartoon Network. And granted, I'm not trying to say that, like, you know, like I'm not someone who tries to be like, oh, you know, it's sexuality, it's impure, think of the children. No, but like I was sitting there and I'm like, but it was on Cartoon Network on not the middle of the day, although I'm sure they had marathons, but like it was on at like 9 o'clock. Like that's not late enough to, you know, in my head to be like, wow, like people are getting electrocuted, you know, scantily clad women are dancing around. Like I was confused. Again, not like so much, although the one thing that I would have done less of though is less torture, because I'm like, guys, I know it's war, but like can we just have less torture? Not even of crap, you already mentioned her name, of the Duchess, but like, and not even the thing with her kid or, you know, her nephew, which I was still just like, oh my God. But like,
oh right, put the shock collar on her nephew.
I was like, what the fuck?
I'm not gonna lie. That line, I was kind of surprised. I went back. I'm like, holy shit.
Right? Like, Jesus. But to be fair, Cartoon Network stepped in and said, what the fuck? And so, but when it comes to the droids, though, I was like, come on, like, that's too much for our, like, why are you doing that to C-3PO? You don't even need to. You can tell he doesn't have the information.
It's kind of like Samurai Jack. I mean, he sliced apart robots all the time, and you saw oil literally spewing out like blood, but because it was robots and oil, it was totally okay.
Oh, no, and that happened in Power Rangers. Like, don't worry, that happened everywhere. But it's the fact that it was, you know what it is, too, again, it's me sitting back and being like, amputation, even of robots, just seems like it's a death. That's the thing, too. It's a death. Rather than just C-3PO, right. They're like, yeah, he doesn't have the information. Keep on fucking shocking him.
Because I'm pissed off.
And it's just like, oh, God, like... And go, because the thing is, it's not like I sat there and I was like, you know, this cowboy feller, he was really nice, but then he did this, and I don't know. Like, I just feel like it didn't need to happen. Like, it felt excess. I'm like, I already know he's a fucking piece of shit. We don't have to have him do this.
Well, the worst
R2-D2,
part is when he starts doing it to R2.
No, that was hilarious because R2 got.
No,
because the thing is, with R2, the reason why it was funny is because we got the R2 scream that we always get. That was the only reason why it's comical to me, because I love that scream.
Is my pain funny to you, Matt? Just R2 looking at you. Do you enjoy my pain?
And then my response would be, wow! It's kind of like, it sort of reminds me of like Crash Bandicoot's, whoa! That's why.
Right.
But anyway,
R2 finds a mechanical hand in his inner compartment to smack you with.
It would be no, because I just imagine him trying to do that and turning into like a Three Stooges skit, like trying to poke me in the eye, but then me blocking it.
Either that, or he'd just come at you with his cattle prod.
That's probably a lot easier. It's probably a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that episode because, again, it's also interesting, you know, like they erase their minds, but not fully because they're like, hey, we have, everything has to seem like nothing weird happened other than the droids being missing for hours.
And even says that. Can't have anything looking out of place, which is why I love his character so much because he's methodical and he thinks of that shit. It's like, what do you want to do with him? I just toss him back on the street. What do you fucking... It's like, wait a minute. What do you fucking mean? You don't think Anakin's going to go looking for them eventually? It's like, no. They'll find their way home. It's in their programming. I know.
And
I've been doing this shit long enough to know how this works.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he's not a bad villain. Like, I really do like them. It's just like we've talked about before. Now, I'm getting back to the question that I asked you earlier on, which you kind of, we were in the middle of answering, but then we just started joking around about other shit. What secrets have been revealed thus far? Or is it secrets revealed simply because it's throwing back to season 1 and 2?
Well, okay, yeah, so that was only half of my answer.
Okay.
The other half is you, in this season, because the first 2, looking back, most of them, there's a little bit in season 2, with, Senate murders and stuff like that, and Cat and Mouse, just looking back at a few other episodes. There is a little bit of, you see what's going on in the Senate and, stuff behind the scenes. Whereas in season 3, you really start to see, especially in Pursuit of Peace, when it's Amidala and Bale trying to put in motion, against the bill to add more clones to the army because it's bankrupting the Republic, and it's literally leaving people without food, water, and electricity at night.
Right.
Or during the day for their families.
So the secret is how everyone is suffering via the war and, what the war is actually doing? Peeling back the curtain? Yeah,
peeling back, right, exactly. Peeling back the glorious, fight for the Republic and, against the droid scourge, and actually seeing there's more to this. And especially at the end of that episode, you actually see Mas Amedda, the blue guy with horns, who's always at Palpatine's side. I knew you wouldn't know him by name, so.
Thank you. No, thank you, dude. Yeah, I need that shit.
Talking to Palpatine in his office, so what he's like, it's amazing how one senator's voice, I have Palpatine, I have all the power in the galaxy right now, and one senator's voice is enough to fuck me over. And he's like, so what are you going to do about it? He's like, well, for now we just let the wheels of democracy turn. Like, don't worry, I'll have my day.
But it just makes me laugh only because he's sitting there or he's standing there and he's just like, I guess we let democracy, whatever the fuck that means, do its thing. It's just kind of funny. He's just like, yeah, democracy. The one thing that I think is sad about this,
he knows how to play the machine.
Of course. Yes. The one thing that I think is sad about this.
Everything.
Yeah, right. But there's something that, even though I do love watching all this stuff unfold, and I'll talk about something that I really enjoyed in a second, but just, and I know it might seem like a broken record because I've talked about this with you before when looking at something like Solo, it's just, when he says something like that, in a way it makes me not want to watch the show because I know where everything's going. Granted, I want to be on this journey because I want to see what happens to certain characters and all the amazing things that are going to happen to Ahsoka. The amazing, wonderful, beautiful things that are going to happen to Ahsoka. She's such a beloved character. Obviously, her end must be a non-tragic end. There are a bunch of people that are just crying right now. But
yeah,
including
like
me.
That.
I don't even know why I'm crying. I just know that I'm crying. But no, but seriously though, right? All jokes aside, it makes me not kind of want to watch. You see what I mean? Where it's just like, yeah, that's right, he does win. I don't know why the fuck I'm that little wolf with Pilaf from Dragon Ball Z. I don't know why.
Oh my God.
Or Dragon Ball. But we do know that he wins, so it's just kind of weird. Where it's like, don't worry, I'll get them one day, and it's like, but he will. They're all going to die.
He's literally going to murder them all.
Yeah. You see why that's a little off-putting. A little bit.
Do you remember the shit-eating grin he had when the Zillo Beast attacked?
Well, no, yes. No, of course. No, I'm just saying that, it's weird to call something foreshadowing when it's literally already happened. Granted, a bit different than what I was complaining about earlier, but a different kind of already happened. But you know what I mean, though, right? It just hurts.
Supposed to hurt, man.
I don't know, man. No, but anyway, one thing I want to say that I love,
supposed to feels bad.
I know. One thing that I do love, though, a lot, is, people that can, and I'm going to call these people out only because it's literally stated so hard while watching these episodes, some of them, that I can't not say anything. Like, we have to talk about this because it's part of the plot. But people who are like, oh, I hate how Star Wars got all political. And I think we may have talked about this during episode 1 when literally it opens up with, like, fucking trades, right? I'm pretty sure that was in the title card for episode 1. Yeah. Fucking trades. But looking at the fact that, trade relations, federal relations, but looking at the fact that they literally said the phrase politics out loud, talked about how bad it is to deregulate the banks.
Yeah.
Which actually happened here in our world, and then talking about how doing something like that just to fund an unnecessary war would then lead to more problems for our people. And I'm just and we're not funding enough of our social services. That's what they said.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah. I know we want to escape the shit that goes on in our world with media, and I totally get where you guys are coming from. But even Barney, like, talks about social issues when he brings on kids who have disabilities. I mean, shit, there's a little girl named Julia. Have you heard about Julia on Sesame Street?
Yes.
Yes. Julia's awesome. I love her. She was so sweet. Yeah. She was in the Thanksgiving Day parade, and she actually had earmuffs on because it's too loud. And I was like, that's actually really nice. You know, like, she's going to be a part of the festivities on the float with everyone, but it's too loud, so she has to wear the earmuffs.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, that's wonderful. Like, that's so, like, people want to say stuff like, oh no, politics, and oh god, this lefty that, and it's just like, guys, like, you have to attack Clone Wars, which I feel like some Star Wars fans do not want to do, especially because Clone Wars to them is that sacred cow. But,
right, yeah.
But
no,
it happened here.
Exactly. It's like, I'm sorry, is your sci-fi commenting on society? Gee. Who would have fucking thought?
Yeah, right? To be fair, though, sci-fi has never done that. It's only done that since, like, the 50s. It's only done that since the 1800s. It's only done that since...
Okay. Thank God you were making the joke.
Yeah, right?
You said it a little too seriously that I was almost like, wait, is he actually... Wait a minute, what?
Heel turn.
Explain!
Just come in, just power bomb you. What's going on?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh,
and then he
rips turned heel mid-match.
Just rips. I rip your title in half, and he rips it in half.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, but seriously though, right? And look, guys, I get it. I really do get it. Like, you want to watch stuff. Like, there's a reason why when I watch, like, Japanese superhero shows, usually they don't talk. They don't bring in, like, any character, and I mean, like, any character who's a politician in any way. Usually it's like, this is about, even the ones that are a bit more about, like, military operations. It's still about a terrorist organization with dudes and women with funny hats who are in monster suits. He thinks it's a joke. I'm going to show him one where they have really funny hats. And you're going to be like, wait, but they're a terrorist group. And I'm like, and their hats are hilarious. And they're fighting against 5 people. Some of them sometimes supposed to be from other nations, but usually they all look Japanese regardless. But they're all supposed to, usually they're from Japan. And 5 people who are like, yeah, we're heroes, and we're going to kick your ass. We're working with the military. Like, that's just what some of these shows end up being, or other, obviously, concepts as well. But, like, they don't usually get political. So I'm like, yeah, I can watch this and just unwind, not having political commentary on, like, 24/7. Like, you can do other things. You can have fun, right? But to watch this, or maybe, again, some people, I think you and I were talking about this before the podcast, maybe some people just didn't watch this, so they've only seen 4, 5, and 6. But even watching 1, 2, and 3, there were inklings of this, little, like, nuggets of this. Nothing this intense. Because when you say the phrase deregulating the banks, that woke me up. Well, no, because like here's the thing, right? The regulation stuff with Jar Jar. The reason why I told you that one was like, oh, it's so fun and yada yada, because I was making jokes with Tristan about it through text, and the reason why is because they come to that planet just to be like, can we have more food? And granted, that fucking matters a lot, but then you have the king be like, cannot has a lot of food, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, are we really just going to negotiate about food for 20 minutes? Like. To me.
And then, meanwhile, back on Ryloth, oh, dear God, there are droids everywhere.
Yes, and that was good.
With
but,
General Dai and the clone commander literally having their last stand so that the Twi'leks can get away and live to fight another day. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah,
I love that
intense.
scene. And
yes, holy
God.
shit, that's intense. But everything else, just you're talking about food regulations. I'm sorry, but I was just like, oh God, like even though I love that Jar Jar was able to play the fool and actually do that in a way where I'm like, good, that's amazing. Like you're growing, but you can still be foolish to try to distract people. That's
right.
Amazing. I love it. But again, just
because
talking
that's
about
the perfect
food.
part about Jar Jar. You use that to your advantage because no one takes him fucking seriously.
Yes,
so,
but again, that's...
Yeah, no one would expect, he's
right.
in on the plan. You just fucking fell for it. Bet you feel stupid now.
Yes, but that's who he's grown into. And that's why a show like this works. But if this show never existed, he would still be Misa Misa all over your Yusa Yusa.
Get me sad, man. Stop bringing me down.
No, I'm just trying to be real with you. This show has made him better, not the other way around.
I know. I mean, you could argue the same thing about Anakin. In a different way, obviously. But...
Oh, no. Totally. You think I'm not right there with you on that, man? I will make that concession. Fuck yeah. But getting back to talking about like deregulating the banks, that woke me up because I'm like, wait a minute, what? You're talking about ending the war, and if not, the war machine keeps turning because you end up giving the banks all this power just to get more money from them, and then both sides are working together on this just to fuck over the people, to make endless wars so that people can't rise up. Like I'm sitting here and I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Right? But
yes,
but again, the one
because
with talking about
it's that
food.
reflection of realism that makes it compelling because it actually means something, and it is a parallel to our world.
And that's
always
why.
What it's been about.
Yeah, and that's because we don't have them going out to fight the wars. The only difference is that in this case, if needed, they actually will fight in the war in a weird way. That's like the one thing I'll give Palpatine, like, which is hard to do because fuck him, but like the one thing is that like Palpatine actually took things into his own hands eventually. He was like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like no politician would ever do that in politics. No politician would be like, you know what, fine, I'll go into battle. No. But Palpatine actually did. Like, let's be real. He's a fucking asshole, and I'm happy he's dead, but actually fought when he wanted to. Even Dooku.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it wasn't on the front lines for the war. It was more to his own means that he ever went into battle, but
no, but he still did. Any politician in real life would still find a way to try to cheat the system and be like, I know my shoulder. Ooh, it hurts so bad. I can't do this. Oh no. It's like, but Palpatine is just like
any senators that did. I mean, you could argue Padme, but
well, I mean, of course I would. Padme's great.
Like, it's kind of the hilarious thing. It's like I know my job description is a senator, but like every other week I'm getting complimented on how good of a shot I am. Like I feel like every other episode somebody's saying to Padme, like, you're really good with a blaster. She's like, yeah, I've kind of had to be because everything.
This is happening far too often.
Oh, God. And that's why I love it, too, just those scenes with her and Bail talking to each other, because all I can see in my head is just later on down the line when Leia is like, Dad, what was my mom like? And he just looks back and like, she was an amazing woman, Leia. And it's sad to think that Bail. Granted, he knows her. Like, he gets to raise Leia, and like he only sees a little bit of her life, but like Leia follows in her mother's footsteps very, very closely, and it's kind of a beautiful thing.
Oh,
just thinking about it.
Definitely. Yeah, no, it is. But I want to talk about two things. One, just getting back to what I was saying. Yeah, I just, again, like, if anyone out there who says Star Wars never got political or Star Wars never seemed overtly political, I said this when we talked about the movie.
Where the fuck have you been?
No. Well, I mean, clearly they haven't been watching. Or my second, this series. Or my second thought is, and I brought this up earlier, I mean, you were in high school, so you were 18 when you saw this, so I'm sure you could easily see it as, oh, God, deregulating the banks and talking about ending endless wars. But if you were, 9 years old at the time, you wouldn't have picked up on that as overtly.
Yeah, I mean, that would be how Episode 1 was for me when I was a kid, when I saw it in theaters in 99 with my dad. I didn't get a lot of the, subtle political talk, but going back and watching it a few years later, I look at that movie completely differently now.
And it's just funny because I think about you and even myself, because that's the one that I did see in theaters, and just picking up, what did you get out of the movie? And, young me is da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, exactly. Duel of Fates.
Yeah.
Which, granted, that's one of the best duels of the whole damn series, but, there is so much more in that movie that you don't get until you're a little bit older. And honestly, hey, that's not a bad thing. It's a cool thing.
No, but I think it's
just some people.
To it. Yes, but I think it's just some people who potentially did not go back to it, and they're like, Star Wars has never been this, and it's just man, when you having the Clone Wars, just say the phrase out loud, and I know I sound like a broken record, but we can't deregulate the banks. I'm like, did I just fucking stumble upon a political YouTube video or something? No, because it just sounds like someone just ranting, and I mean ranting in a good way. Remember, I have a show on those guys play called Matt Rants, so I don't think that rants are necessarily a bad term. But someone ranting about how bad the big banks are and how that led to the economic depression, giving them, court with all these breaks and them lending out and giving all these loans and shit and not expecting them to be paid back. All this shit that, I'm sorry if you guys are please stop talking about that, but it's it's in the show that we're watching. I don't know what to say about it, other than if someone said, well, I would disagree. I would want to stop the wars, but I don't see what's the problem with giving the banks that, that leniency. All right, that's fair. But, again, you can disagree with the point, but, again, it's in the media that we're talking about. So it's not out of nowhere we're just bringing it up. Now, someone might say that, well, Matt, people are bringing in more social issues in new Star Wars than they used to. But even then, we've talked about this before. The fact that all these different races of people and species are working together on two different sides even.
Right.
It's granted,
good and bad.
Good and bad. Though I will admit, other than the Hutts, I do see a lot of similarities in people that are working with the Separatists. I'm just putting that out there. There are certain similarities. No, there are. Even when we see the woman who is friends with Padme, and it's supposed to be well, she lost her husband, and I feel bad for her losing her husband, don't get me wrong, but they have a certain aristocracy there that I'm I feel yes, we're supposed to be there are two sides to every situation, but how funny is it that the side with the Separatists, that one person that we see, they're doing pretty well, when we have that woman working with Padme who's we can't read and we also can't shower. It's kind of interesting.
Right.
Kind of interesting. Granted, she was also humanoid.
You mean from Heroes on Both Sides, right, when she contacts her...
her friend, yeah.
Yeah, her friend on the Separatist
mentor.
Senate.
Who's the mentor. No, I'm just... And granted, she was a senator, to be fair. So we thank you for noting that. She was a senator, to be fair, so she got that senator money. They all have that senator money, to be fair. Padme isn't living on the streets, but...
right. Oh, and that's the other part that I love, because Ahsoka goes with her, and she's let me show you, what's really going on here, because all Ahsoka knows of the Separatists is battle droids. And it's like, no, there are actually other people on this side. And she's like, well, how the fuck could they support this war? They're the ones just making it go forward. It's like, it's a bit more complicated than that. And I love the fact that Ahsoka gets to open her perspective on it too, with her son. And even him too. She's like, when they have that little dialogue between each other, like, I'm a Separatist, do I really look so bad? And she's like, no, I guess not. Granted, I hate his response, but...
Well, it's funny. His response is funny because then her response was just like, yeah, I guess boys are all the same. And I was like, God damn it, that's funny.
Right.
No, it is funny, though. It's just like...
I'm from the Republic. Do I look so bad? Looks up and down. God damn it.
Nah, you look fine. Yeah, you are a boy.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, and that's even the funny part, just Ahsoka being a Jedi and usually, like, being in kind of a monastery setting where it's like, yeah, people don't usually do that kind of thing. Being on the outside, it's like, well, normal people do.
Right. But one thing I want to say, though, I do think that the idea of broadening the horizons, even though I still feel weird about that family with all the stuff that they have, granted, again, Senator. So, but still, though, I have to admit, though, yes, it is good to see both sides because she lost her husband. Like, she isn't just some cold, heartless monster. She doesn't want the war either, but here's the war.
Right. Yeah.
So,
there are plenty of people on the Separatist side who are just trying to live their lives as well and see the Republic as corrupt. And there's nothing that can be done to change it with the inside, so they need to leave.
Yeah.
And it really drives home the point that these people are being pitted against each other. The galaxy is literally being torn in half by this war between, droids and clones. And it's supposed to drive home the fact that, everyone's getting fucked over by this because Palpatine's orchestrating the whole goddamn thing.
And the reason why that's somewhat relevant to our lives in any way is just the idea that in any conflict, and yes, of course, there are certain ones where obviously it's just like, you can't sit back in certain conversations, and we're gonna have to come to this consensus. You can't come into certain conversation with someone being like, well, let me explain why you're just a lesser form of people due to something arbitrary. It's hard to have a conversation with that person and be like, well, let's come to an agreement here. I'm not lesser because I'm Hispanic. I'm half lesser. Can we compromise? How do you compromise on that, right? All right, I know you want to kill me and eradicate all of my people, but maybe only half? Maybe Thanos this? Can we compromise on this? How do you do that, You can't in that situation.
Shit. Yeah.
However, though, in a situation like this, when it is, and not even this perfect, although yes, it is a show, but in a situation like this, even when comparing it to what happens even in real life, there are certain places that we have invaded that we are still in, that when you ask the local people, hey, what do you think may have started this? They don't tell you, oh, yeah, 9/11. They sit back and they go, honestly, Americans came in. We don't know why, but they want to take our land, I think.
Yeah.
Either way, all we know is they want to hurt us, and we don't want that. And it's like, wow. Because think about how long that has been going on. So thinking about that, there are people who are either teenagers or who are 18 years old who are just like, they came in, these Americans. They just came in, and then I guess they want something from us, because why would they be here? Because, of course, those citizens didn't do anything directly to us at that moment, at that time, or surrounding that time. And so it's just this idea that, you look at both sides, and it's one side says this, one side says that. Look, I'm not saying that I want, objectivity to turn into neutrality here, because that does become frustrating, where it's if you punch me first and I punch you next, it shouldn't be well, he punched him and then he punched him. What can we say? That's bullshit, of course. Again, not every situation can be solved with these methods. But it is still good to look at both sides where, to see, like, well, why did Tristan punch him? Is it something that's new? Like, is it something that just came up out of nowhere? Like,
why is it now me being named?
Well, no, I said you punch me punch you. I said it was us punching each other. I did make that.
Okay. I didn't
why
know
is
you
Tristan...
meant us specifically.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, I was, yeah. Never mind. Let me change the subject. Why is Tristan not listening to me? Why is Tristan... Tristan, during this podcast, it's like it starts up with you're breaking up, and now I feel like you're not even listening to me anymore. I just feel like you're a completely different person.
And now we're punching each other.
And now that's what started it. Now we're punching each other.
Well, at least we're solving this in a healthy manner. Wait, what?
At least, yeah, right? At least, well, first of all, this is healthy because he put away his lightsaber and his sword.
Ah! Oh, God, he knew. Yeah.
But anyway, either way, my point is, though,
Master
Tristan,
Yoda speaks of you so highly.
Yeah, right. There are certain situations where this method can be applied to at least, because even if you're not excusing the behavior, it's just to understand why. Because, frankly, that does matter in the world, right? Some people are like, well, we can't understand why because it's excusing the behavior. It's like, no, you just want to know why before you get punchy. You can get punchy, but you want to know why. What's going on? Yeah. What's the haps? You don't just come into it guns blazing, fists in the air.
Right.
You're like, wait, what's going on? I'm about to get that way if things don't turn out right, but what's going on?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I really do love, that we've gotten to that point in the series where that stuff is being answered. I think the problem, though, is, and maybe it's just me thinking of this from a creator's point of view, as someone who creates things. God, I hate that. But still, as someone who creates things, I don't want to sound like I'm pretentious, but I'm just saying that, like, I feel like that scene and that entire, like, well, not that scene in particular, but like the scene of, this is like a shadow government creating this war and it will always continue. It's weird to have that not be your season closer or your series closer, and to just have it be another day in the war. You see what I mean, though? Like, isn't that a big reveal? Shouldn't that? I mean, granted, I know we've known that they've been controlling things, but, like, to do it in that way and that heavily. What?
It's revealed.
Yeah, right? But it wasn't, though, because we've known.
Because it's literally been there the whole time. It's just another day in the war. Oh,
but that's the thing, though.
Creedence Clearwater Revival playing in the background.
Oh, Jesus. No, but you see what I mean, though, right? Like, yes, we know about Dooku and we know about Palpatine, but to have this, like, I don't know, like, when you bring up stuff like that, to me it seems like it's a game changer that, like, they got that close and then didn't get to do it.
Yeah.
Like, does that seem bigger, or is it just me? Because it seems like that's a huge thing to then just not have happen.
With
them getting so close to ending the war, and then lol JK, we actually faked an attack. Like, that seems like a huge, like, season closer kind of episode.
Oh, right. When they had, when they had the bombing in Coruscant.
Yeah. Well, because that was the same episode that they actually were having those talks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't that seem like a huge
deal?
I
mean, that's the thing, because Palpatine is basically trying to influence this entire galaxy.
No,
and granted, the man is
know.
fucking smart.
Yes.
Like, but he does need, like, that's why he has Dooku, and that's why he's put in place of the opposition. So it's like, when something starts to go, quote unquote, when something starts to go right for the galaxy, it's like, no, we need to keep this on track, make it go wrong.
But I'm saying with how big of a right that it was, I'm just saying that for it to be in a random episode slot in the middle of a season, like, I feel like that should be a big deal. Like, holy shit, the series could end on this, and then it didn't happen.
Right. I mean, it is a big deal, but it's also, like, I guess it also brings it back, like, we know Palpatine wins in the end, but let's make it interesting. Let's make it seem like there were definitely times where the cat almost came out of the bag.
Okay, that's fair.
And
also,
they do that going forward too. And there are there's an even bigger time where the cat almost literally came out of the bag, and Palpatine was like, "Fuck, get on this."
I can't wait to see that too, because I love these moments, because they seem like really huge moments in a war that's never ending. So like, I don't want to say that, you know, the fighting shouldn't happen, because I love melee fights. I think I love those more than, you know, shootouts and stuff like that. Like, I love the melee stuff with, you know, sword play and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, though, like, that happens, you know, a fair amount of the time, because, of course, you're going to keep on getting stuff like that in a war like this.
Right.
But when you actually get them talking politics in a way that the war could actually stop, rather than trying to save people who, sadly, it's like, we learned that, like, 2 episodes ago that they died because this is out of order. But, like, okay, getting that food in. Where in this case, it's like, oh, man, like, this war could have ended. Like, that actually had me on the edge of my seat. Now, I have a question. I don't remember the name of the Blue family. The guy whose his daughters were kidnapped, and his son was actually voiced by Seth Green.
Oh, right, yeah, Chairman Papanoida. From Spheres of Influence. They were from Pantora.
Pantora. Okay, so I can call them the Pantoran family, or is that odd? What's the family name that I can use?
Actually, no. I don't know what their family name was, but
so I'm going to call them the Blue family. Let me say something that might come off as controversial. I'm going to say something that might come off as controversial.
You already did, but
no. I think people are going to find this more controversial.
Okay.
I've only seen, unless there was another episode that I forgot about, I've only seen 1 episode with this family. Right? Has there been more before season 3?
You've seen Pantorans before, but I believe this is the first time you've seen this family. Yes.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Now here's where my comment comes in. After seeing this family for 1 episode, why the fuck are we focusing on the Skywalkers? Holy shit, these people are amazing. Every one of them can work a blaster with their tongue while having their eyes closed in the dark. Holy shit, they're amazing.
Yeah, that, I guess, just don't fuck with Pantorans.
But why are we not following their family for like 18 movies? Like, holy shit, are there any books about this family? I would read a fucking book about this family.
I don't know. I don't know of any that specifically follow Pantora, but
let me explain.
You saw the senator before in Senator Chuchi. You saw her in season, was it 2?
Okay, because her name sounded familiar.
No,
but yeah,
it was 1. Fuck it, it was a previous season.
Right. You have
they were on the snow planet, and the Talls came out of the snow, and they were attacking them, and it's like, oh, this moon is now under Pantora, the military dude. It's like, this moon is now under the control of Pantora. It's like, these are Obi-Wan's like, these are sentient people, and they live on this moon. They kind of just want you to get the fuck out. Can we not do this?
But I love that you had a 50-50 shot, season 1 or 2, and you were like, if I'm going to be wrong, fuck it. I won't even, fuck it. Not even going to, like, you gotta, yeah, like,
I was looking for them. I was looking for the fucking episode list, because I have it up. I couldn't find the one.
Oh,
I didn't want to drag it out.
That's fine. But getting back to what I was saying, though, right? I just, this, like, when the dad's about to get shot in a bar, and I'm like, so the dad is going to die. And then his kid, who was just kidnapped, gets the shot.
Yep.
And by the way, I thought that she was a little bit of a screw-up because, like, yes, she doesn't know it's a sting, but the second she sees her dad with the guy that kidnapped her, her first thought is, let me scream dad. And I'm like, kid?
I mean...
Granted, she doesn't know.
Yeah, and you've been kidnapped, and you're just kind of relieved to see your father.
No, I know. But again, when she first did that, I was like, oh, God, kid. Because, again, I know that she doesn't know it's a sting, but, like, still.
Yeah. I mean, the funny part is when you know that your brother and your father can wield and that you also can wield blasters like that when they just it's like, so we're just kicking over tables and we're like bar fighting this. We're getting out of here and just going through a fucking shootout.
But again, I'm just putting it out there. Why are we not following this family in future films? The shit that they're doing. Because at first I was like, oh no, they've been kidnapped, oh no. Like, yeah, it was kind of like that.
Right.
And then I see that the dad's getting involved, and I'm like, that's cute. And then he double blasters this shit. And I'm like, I'm sitting here, and I'm like, and then we have little Anakin who doesn't like sand. Like, fuck off. Right. Look at these guys.
God damn.
Look at this unit.
I'm surprised Jabba didn't hire him as the bounty hunter, seeing as how Greedo's such a fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't matter what you're watching. Greedo never shoots first.
And I love oh my fucking God. And I love the fact that when Papa Noida is talking to Jabba, he's like, because he does it on two fronts. He's like, I know you being a father understand that I will do anything to rescue my daughters. And I also know that me and you are friends, so I know you wouldn't dick me over. So that can only mean that Greedo's a piece of shit and he's working behind your back. I was just like, holy shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he looked at...
Jabba just looks over like, Greedo, the fuck you doing?
He looked at Jabba the Hutt and he was like, we know each other and you got a kid, so you wouldn't fuck with me. Somehow, like, we're cool, and I'm like, whoa, like, you can say, while not being a piece of shit yourself, that you're cool with Jabba the Hutt. Holy shit, what have you been in?
Yeah, right. Oh,
so
damn.
I want to see more of them because they are amazing.
Shit like this shit makes me happy that you pick up on that. You're like, no, we need to see more of this guy. Where's his comic series?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I'm sorry, but, like, we have Lord Vader over here, like, sand hurts my armor. And this dude is just would fucking put he'd be like, well, the sand hurts your armor. Well, how about this? And shoves a blaster up his ass and shoots. You have any scars up there? And shoots.
Oh,
this family is intense. And here we are following...
You could argue that's what the Clone Wars does to people.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that, like, we follow the Skywalkers consistently making mistakes unless your name is, and I quote, Leia Organa. You consistently fuck up unless your name is Leia Organa.
I mean, she's made a few mistakes here and there, too, but obviously not as big as most of the rest of her family. To be completely fair.
I'm just saying, and I know, again...
She's the one who's made the least amount of fuck-ups.
There are, like, a bunch of people listening right now that were like, okay, look, if I had to choose, I'd rather you make those political comments over Skywalker.
Oh, my God.
And by the way, like, I love Luke. I love, I love 4, 5, and 6 more than I do 1, 2, and 3. I think it's just me literally taking the entire Skywalker family into account, not just Luke. Because I think when some people are like, I love the Skywalkers, what they're saying is, I really like Luke, and I like Vader using a lightsaber. Like, when they say that they love the Skywalkers, I don't think they think of Anakin.
I mean...
I'm not talking about you.
I'm throwing
myself
on. Okay.
I'm talking about.
Are you really making me throw myself under my own bus?
No, because we're watching Clone Wars now. But I don't know if you would feel the same way you do right this second about Anakin if there was no Clone Wars.
Oh, no.
There you go. There you go.
I can readily say that without any extra content buffering him. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, without any hesitation. Because that's the thing. Even though I'm watching this, we have to remember that, like, well, this show got amazing ratings. So it did, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
The show got amazing ratings.
As it went
and of course,
yes.
Right, as it went on. And, of course, Netflix picked it up and things like that. But you think about how many people have seen or have currently seen Star Wars. Not everyone's seen Clone Wars.
Yeah.
They should, but not everyone has. So that's what I'm saying. When I talk about people, I'm talking about the general public, not the people who saw Darth Maul in Solo and were like, yeah, makes a lot of sense, actually. Like, people, shouldn't you be shocked? Yeah, I'm shocked.
I was literally sitting next to you.
I'm shocked. Oh, not that shocked.
Yeah, because, oh, God. Yeah, it's two different people. It's just you looking over at me. I'm shocked. I'm looking over at you. I don't know, man. Like, I'm on the ball here.
Well, no, remember, I was spoiled, so I knew that was coming. I just forgot that it was going to happen. Like, I thought it was going to be like a after creditsy thing, and the fact that it wasn't, I was like, whoa.
Right. The best part is you'll finally understand that in the next season.
Well, now you spoiled it. I was going to read comic books and everything. No, I didn't know when he showed up. It could have been this season for all I knew.
More to look forward to.
That would have been, wouldn't that have been a good secret to fucking reveal?
I will smash
that's not even a joke. Wouldn't that have been a secret to reveal? Like, he's not as dead as you thought. More at 11. More at 9:30. Just the announcer for, like, the next episode. Holy shit. This is not a fucking drill, kids. Holy shit. Hold on to your fucking seats. We're going for a ride. Just Darth Maul. It's just in the trailer, and that's just what they say. But no, so let's see. So I really love this family, this blue family. They are the coolest family that I've seen thus far in Clone Wars. And I mean, it's just the way it is. They're just amazing. Also, I want to see that kid, how he deals with the death of his mom, because we glossed over that. Holy shit. Kid in this case, I'm referring to. Yeah, I'm referring to Padme's friend. I wanted to say Leia so many times because she has the resemblance, obviously. But Padme's friend, her dying, I'm like, I want to see what happens with her kid.
Yeah,
because, dear God.
I can't think of his name. I can hear Ahsoka saying it. Like, I can see her talking to him and saying it. And I can't
Was it a normal, everyday name or no?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything too crazy, I don't think.
All right. Oh, we talked about it's funny. We talked about the Duchess and her nephew, and then Ahsoka coming in to talk to the kids and teach them. We also glossed over the fact, just some more stuff that sounds like political-esque. Always keep your government in check, kids. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, because imagine you watching that if you were a kid. You're actually because again, I have to remember that you weren't a kid when watching this, Tristan. But you're watching this. I mean, heck, even as an 18-year-old, you're watching this and you're just like, is television teaching me about activism? Like, what is happening? Like, this show is very interesting in what it was. Like, I feel like when they were assured that they got 2 seasons, they were just like, all right, first thing on the agenda, activism. Next thing on the agenda, breasts. No, because the women in Jabba the Hutt's. But, like, no, because again, they were like, we have to make sure 3 things are on the agenda: activism, torture, and breasts. Excuse me, sir? Not in that order. Thank you. Question has been answered. like, it's just, No, but like all jokes aside, like they just went for three things that I was like, I am shocked that this show went for that because I got to be real. As much as I love Star Wars, the shows that I think went more into activism. Every time I say activism, I want to say Activision. God fucking damn it, activism, and went more into, I don't know, just like the hopefulness of the universe and everything like that. As much as I love Star Wars, I see that a lot more in something like Star Trek or Doctor Who than I do in Star Wars.
The power
because
is yours.
Oh, God. What is that from? I know where that's
Planet,
from. Thank God it is. Captain Planet, he's our hero. Oh, God, the Earth is fucking dying. Captain Planet. Where the fuck have you been, Captain Planet? Sorry, guys. I've been binging Netflix. God damn it, Captain Planet.
He's been ingesting all the plastic in the ocean.
Why? So that the turtles can't. Oh, Captain Planet.
Pretty much. I'm slowly dying. I think I have cancer.
You know, they're actually fucking getting away from that. Jesus Christ. Because if he had cancer, then all those 5 kids would. Fucking shit, Tristan. Why would you do that? Why would you do that to 5 teenagers who are trying to help save the planet, you dick? Anyway, Tristan did not see where that would have went. Anyway,
that's my question to everybody on this planet, Matt.
No, but I wanted to tell you some good news. They're actually making biodegradable, edible for turtles, plastic wraps for certain. So instead of turtles or like other animals like getting those rings stuck in them or ingesting them, they will actually be edible for turtles.
Damn.
How fucking amazing is that? I don't know like how that will be implemented, but I was reading up a little bit on that and I was like, it's fucking amazing.
Interesting way of going about it, but hey.
Well, because they need to be used to contain things.
Right.
Like to, hold the bottles together and shit like that. Like we need stuff to do that, but why make it hurt the like, why not make something that can also help the turtles at the same time? Like it's actually edible. They can eat it and actually gain nutrients from it. Fuck yeah. Anyway, but back to what I was talking about though, or we were talking about. God, Captain Planet, such a good show. I have to go back and watch that. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it feels like when they knew that they were secure. Oh, it's like a teacher with tenure.
Oh my God.
Right? When they knew that they could, they would just, teacher walks in the room. Oh, that's right. I want to remind all of you, fuck off. It's like, what are you going to do? Fire me? Fuck you. Like, it's kind of like that, where it's like, wait, so it's an assured contract for 2 seasons. Oh, yeah, no, we cannot cancel you. Unless the ratings get that low, we cannot cancel you. And they're just like, all right, we're going to fucking do this. Because they did shit in this season that I've never seen from Star Wars before. And I'm not saying that I've disliked Star Wars. I'm just saying that like they've done stuff, Tristan, that I've been like, Star Wars does this? You know what I mean? No, because like there's just certain things that I'm like, oh, I would see this in Star Trek, them talking about this or them doing this, or like, oh, I would see this in, Doctor Who being talked about or something. But usually in Star Wars, like they focus so much on because again, we're talking about movies here. Yeah, just surviving. That they don't really have time to talk about like you can't talk about ending the war when the Emperor is like, I want to kill just you. Everyone else too, don't get me wrong, but like you especially. It's really hard to be like, let's talk about diplomacy.
You're first on the list.
Yeah.
You're at the top of the shit list.
Yeah. Look, I think we should all talk about diplomacy. It's really hard to do that. But in a show like this, you have that time, and it's a really beautiful thing to have happen. One thing, too, have you ever seen, and I haven't seen much of it, I saw a little bit of it on El Rey recently because there was a marathon. Have you ever seen Starship Troopers?
I have not, but I've seen, I know of clips and bits and pieces,
So again, I saw a little bit of the first movie, not too much, but I feel like the stuff with training the cadets and everything, both in this show with all the rookies felt like it was something out of Starship Troopers or just something like out of an actual army movie trying to like, whip them into shape. It was very interesting. Again, stuff that you don't really get to see in Star Wars, because even with the Rebels, it's just more so like we're a ragtag group of people that have to do this rather than, all right, men, forward march. Because again, this is this is a different time.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it really brings that humanizing factor to the clones, which is a point that even Padme brings up. It's like they're living beings, and also the Jedi keep saying, even though it's muddled in there.
Yeah.
But like even the senator, it's like, so what? We bred them to fight this war. The only people that I actually care about are my actual constituents. The actual people that I represent.
Oh,
and it's like, wow, you're
line.
a piece of shit. Yeah, he's like, and they're like, wow, you're a piece of shit. And it's like, when was the last time you talked to the people that you represent? And they're like, oh, fuck. Yeah, exactly. That fucking piece of dialogue. God, that is, like, it's those pieces of dialogue. That's why I love this goddamn series. I mean, I love it for a lot of reasons, but that's one of the top fucking reasons.
Yeah. No, it's just, again, it's just talking about politics and keeping politicians accountable, shit like that I'm just like, look, I think my favorite part of this entire 11-episode stretch, if it wasn't the Blue family kicking ass and taking names, in that order, by the way, like, I've kicked your ass, what is your name? Just kidding, you're dead. Haha. Great
Tell
family
me your name
vacation,
before
isn't
I
it?
put this blaster bolt through your head.
Yeah, right? So, putting that aside, though, I think when it came to swordplay, I really loved when Anakin fought the assassin, because they fought so quick that I was like, oh my God. Like, it was something that I don't think I've even seen in this show, or definitely not, of course, in the movies, because they're real human people. So, like, other than Grievous, but like real people still, even in doing motion capture. So seeing Anakin as, this animated character fighting so fast in ways that are not humanly possible, I was like, oh my God. That, and of course, having,
in the Battle of Kamino when he fights Ventress.
Yes, because then of course we juxtapose that with Obi-Wan fighting Grievous, and again, all the jokes, all the grief that I've been giving Grievous. Some people were like, we were okay with the politics, we were okay with the Luke Skywalker or the Skywalker clan trashing, but you made a Grievous joke. You go fuck yourself. I'm out. Anyway. No, but like really though, looking at both of those fights, those were really good fights. And I think the best that I saw in this stretch of episodes.
And that was another line from Anakin. It's like, looks like you've got nowhere to run. Oh, but, you won't kill me. I'll just get away and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, actually, I plan to let the clones execute you right here and now. It's like, holy shit.
When he said that, I was like...
also, oh, yeah. That's also Anakin. It's like, you're the objective. You're the evil one here. I'm going to get the job done and make sure you don't cause any more fucking problems for us.
Annie, your Sith is showing. Anakin looking at his belly button. Where?
Deep breathing. What are you talking about?
I'm only laughing because it's just like, look, man, I'm just saying, all right, I will do anything to protect the people, even if it meant killing younglings. Holy shit, nobody mentioned younglings.
Oh, my God.
Jesus, Anakin, why is the first thing you thought younglings? I'm just saying I picked something that I would, never do. But if I had to, I would. Jesus, Anakin. No one's talking about younglings right now. Anyway.
You've got 7 kids and 3 chairs. What do? Get 4 more chairs. Kill 4 kids.
Anakin. I love that meme. Talking about jumping to an assassination attempt. Speaking of people getting killed, the Padme assassination attempt episode was a beautiful one for one reason and one reason only. Yoda, showing off that Yoda was always such a kind, loving leader, just by him looking at looking at Osaka and being like,
Talking
oh, it's not, damn it, not Osaka.
Yeah.
Asuka. Not Asuka, fuck. Help me with her name.
Fuck.
Ahsoka, thank you. No, because obviously just the reason why it's freaking me out is because obviously Asuka, the pro wrestler, and yeah. Anyway, so Ahsoka, boop. Getting back to my point, the fact that she is having these visions that obviously Jedi do have, but we just don't really talk about that much. We do a little bit here and there, but no, they do. But like, I don't know. Like, you might know this more because you know the lore a little bit more than I do. A little bit, huh? But you know the lore more than I do. Do all Jedi get that, or like how many Jedi? Is there like a percentile of Jedi who get that shit? Because it seems like we rarely focus on Jedi who get visions.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's just a byproduct of being force sensitive, but there are only specific times where it's like, I don't know, when can we use this? Or like introducing this for a plot point.
Oh, okay. No, because the thing is, like, we've seen it happen with Anakin. We've seen it happen with Ahsoka. We've seen it happen where else?
With Luke.
With Luke, yes, thank you. With Luke, and like that's what I'm saying. Like
Obi-Wan too.
Okay. Because did Obi-Wan?
He says to Qui-Gon.
Right.
At times he's like, and then Qui-Gon's like, keep your mind here and now where it belongs, please.
I forgot. Did Obi-Wan know that he was going to die in Episode 4 via a vision, or he just assumed?
Well, by that time in his training, I think he knew his time was ending soon. I don't know if he knew exactly where he was going to die. Like, we've never seen him have a vision of, I'm dying on a space station. Like, not to that degree, but I think he was kind of prepared at that point. Like, yep, my time has come.
I'm just thinking of, like, all the other times. He's just, like, he gets, like, I don't know, like, he just gets, like, heartburn first thing in the morning. It's my time. Oh, wait, nope, I'm good.
Jesus Christ.
Just a bunch of... No, because, like, it's like having a spider sense but never finding the danger until it just hits you.
Ooh, so anxiety.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
I went there.
I can't say you're wrong. We got off the rails with this thing the second that in the show itself they started talking about real world shit. So like, what are we gonna do?
Deregulating the banks.
I think that's what did it. Yeah.
That's gonna be a fucking joke between us now.
Between us, I'll put that on a shirt. It's Star Wars font.
That'll be what it is. How was your day on a scale of 1 to deregulating the banks?
Jesus Christ. It was about 6 out of 5 getting droid tortured. Like 6.5 droid tortures.
Nightmare.
Oh, jeez. That's what I'm telling you. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is horrifying. How is this allowed to be on television? Oh, we almost skipped, as we're getting closer to wrapping this up, we almost skipped the craziest moment of all, I think, out of all of these episodes. I'm not saying it's my favorite, but it's definitely the craziest. Having one of Jabba's dancers fucking shooting Zero.
Yeah, that was great.
It's funny, like, I was
really surprised, too.
Because I thought
Bane to be the one to kill him.
No, I thought that Zero, was going to betray her, and then she was going to either die or just be upset or something. Like, the fact that she is the one that actually ended up killing him, and then she even said it out loud, and I know it was in our face, where
Never
she was like,
would have
no,
saw
like,
that shit coming, huh?
And I sat there, and I'm like, fuck, she's not wrong, though.
Yep.
Because I think what it is because we're watching Star Wars, I didn't expect it to become a whodunit. You know, like a betrayal whodunit. Like, if I'm watching a movie about that, then of course, I'm thinking, oh, it's the butler, or something like that. But like, I never thought that, she would need to be, he, in this case being Jabba, would need to hire her or anything like that. I just assumed that she was, and also even when she said that she was a scorned lover, I just expected that to be, a way to end the episode or something. Like, I didn't think it'd actually come around to Jabba being like, I have so much money, I can pay multiple people to do this job, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So, yeah, if Bane did it, then fuck it. But if she does it, well, fuck, I'm paying her too. Fuck it.
Right.
Like, Zero could have been killed by, like, so many other factors. Like, how many other people were just being paid by Jabba to
even his own
do
mom just being like, you motherfucker, you come to my doorstep and you want my starship after the shit you pulled? I should kill you myself.
Like, Jesus. Well, because it's interesting. Because it seems like even when you are, your family is a crime family, and they look at you like scum. You fucked up.
Like you're a piece of shit. Yeah.
By the way, who was the guy? I can't remember his name. He was working with Obi-Wan throughout the episode.
Oh, Quinlan Voss. I was about to be like, yeah, and a shout out for my boy Quinlan Voss because fuck yes.
So Quinlan Voss.
Yeah.
Do you agree or disagree that Voss and Obi-Wan's relationship slightly mirrors our own? Do you? I'm taking that laugh as an agreeing.
I love you. God damn it.
Do you agree or disagree?
So I have to ask you though, because I need to hear you say it out loud. Who is who? Tell me right now. Who the fuck is who?
You are Obi-Wan.
Okay.
And I am Voss.
You're not wrong.
With how reckless Voss was and how much he got on Obi-Wan's nerves.
Oh, my fucking God.
And how Obi-Wan was like, but that doesn't seem like it would make sense. And Voss being like, let me just trust my instincts. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, this just seems like it's Tristan and I.
I mean, is it? Wait, do you?
Well, because I see myself as someone who, even if I'm right, I still annoy you in a way, and you're not wrong all the time. Like, it's not like you don't have, because it's a dumb move if Zero would have stayed on the planet, but with Voss's tracking skills, he's just like, look, I'm telling you, like, this is, like, let's just go with my gut here. He's doing it.
Right.
I know it might not seem like he would, but, because again, I'm not calling you dumb. I'm just saying that, like, again, like, Obi-Wan would have been right in any other situation, but in that one, he was wrong. And it annoyed him because Voss was also annoying him. And I just feel as if that's just our relationship somewhat. Also, just the way we both look versus the way they look. I was like, I feel like it's, yeah.
And I mean, also the point that Obi-Wan, it feels like the closest thing to an anthropologist that I've seen in Star Wars.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. So just putting that out there. Just want to say that as we wrap this up.
So is that our headcanon now? Like, are we going to cons? We going to Star Wars Celebration? Doing this? Because I will fucking do it.
I mean, I would too. But Mike, I have a question for you about Voss. So he appears more often than this. He's in books. He's in movies. He's not movies, but he's in like comics. He's in games.
He does have a book. I think multiple books actually.
Which came out first?
I believe there was a comic first and then a book.
But I mean, like, was this his start or was this fan service?
I want to say it's fan service.
All right. I mean, you're in front of a computer, or are you not?
I mean, yeah. Well, I can.
That's what I'm saying. Can you look him up while we just gush about how cool he is? Because he's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's why I'm wondering if it's fan service, because he's so cool that in my head, and he's so different than Star Wars, like this show, that I'm kind of like, was he already a character that was brought in? Because he does seem different, like, than what's normally on, or in Star Wars, in my opinion. And I know this show makes it hard for someone to say what is quintessentially Star Wars and not, because, of how expansive this galaxy is. And how, by the way, there's such good world building in this galaxy. So in this show. So, because we've talked about that before, and that's something we've agreed upon. Like, as much as we do like movies, Star Wars movies in this case, it does feel like, especially with what Lucas did with 1, 2, and 3, he kind of made everything too close together. With it's like, oh my goodness, and Anakin made C-3PO, no way. Like, with all that stuff, where in this case, it feels like we're expanding everything so far, to the point where, like, we even get to see the other side of the war. Like, holy shit, in a positive light or in a neutral light. Anyway, Tristan, have you found more about Voss?
Yeah. So I think, looking at Wikipedia.
Yeah, right.
Or canon and Legends. This is his canon appearance. So he has been in other things in Legends.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure the book that, because Clone Wars, I'm pretty sure the book is canon.
Right, but did the book come out before 2010 is what matters?
It might have been after, because it lists Clone Wars first.
Okay, that's fair. But either way, though, it's still cool that he has that. I would definitely. We have a show called Book of the Month on our Those Guys on the Radio YouTube channel. I would definitely pick up that book if it's cheap, and I would talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it's just I love this character. So, but anyway, is there anything else you want to say? Maybe talk about what might have been your favorite episode before we kind of wrap this up. As we're wrapping this up, do you want to talk about like which one was your favorite, which one was your least favorite? Because I've talked about what my favorites and least favorites have been thus far. So, what about yours?
Oh shit! Oh, you always do this to me.
Which means that you should see it coming.
I know. I can never pick one.
That's fair. Well, no, then maybe pick a scene. What was your favorite scene or least favorite scene?
Again.
All right. Well, then we'll end it on that then.
I mean,
I don't know what else to tell you.
Like for like the action and stuff, I loved Clone Cadets and ARC Troopers. But for like the political side and looking behind the curtain, I love Heroes on Both Sides. So yeah, I'll say that.
No, that's fine. All right, that's fine. So either way, I really enjoyed this. I can't wait to do this in the near future. I don't know when it'll be, to be fair, because we do have a lot of other movies coming up in theaters that we'll be talking about relatively soon to their release date for once. So, yeah, I don't know when we'll do this again, but it'll definitely be soon because I actually really enjoyed this season thus far. So, I want to thank you all so much for listening in. As always, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Those Guys on the Radio, please remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below about your favorite scene from this season thus far, these episodes of Star Wars Clone Wars, and your favorite stuff from Season 1 and 2. You could also be listening to this through our Blog Talk Radio account, which is blogtalkradio.com/thoseguysontheradio, or potentially searching up Those Guys on iTunes and finding us there. Again, thank you all so much. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/TG Productions. Depending on what tier you go to, you can actually get a lot of different cool cool rewards and things like that, not just for our Those Guys on the Radio YouTube channel and for our show called Kakaku Corner, where we talk about weekly either anime, comic book, or other nerd-related news, but also we have our Those Guys Play YouTube channel, where you can have some cool rewards that relate to shows that we do there, and we have our TG Productions YouTube channel as well. All of that will be either in the description box of this, either video or podcast link or whatever it is, and you can also find all that stuff like our Facebook, Twitter, and website as well, and even our merchandise that we have. So again, thank you all so much. Love you all. Take care, and tune in next time for another episode of Star Wars Wednesday. So I'm going to say see ya. And Tristan, what do you?
Good night, everyone, and may the Force be with you.
And also with you.